So the first thing I love about living in a trailer park is that kids play outside all day, every day.
Right, because you usually hear that, modern day kids are just sucked into video games and the internet and iPads and electronics.
Right.
Here, that's not the case.
No,
So you can probably hear kids playing in this video.
Yeah, literally.
It's like all day, every day. They're not in school, they're playing until it's dark.
Yeah.
They're still playing when it's dark, and then eventually they go inside.
Right. And it'll be groups of them. Like sometimes
20 plus.
we'll see down the street, it'll be like 10 people in a distance. We'll be like, oh man, like you better look out. And then it ends up being like a bunch of kids. Like just a gang of kids. Well, okay, not a gang, but.
No, it's funny because that's what goes on in your head.
What?
Like in my head, it's like, oh man, you better look out. Like, you can tell these people are like 4 feet tall. You can tell the kids.
See, I'm just like, if I see a bunch of people together, I'm always like.
It scares the crap out of our dogs, though.
Yeah, it does.
Because it'd be like 10, 15, 20 kids
and they'll
walking
be like
down the street,
4
walking
bikes,
the dogs towards them, and the dogs
4 on
freak out.
bikes, 4 on scooters. Yeah, they mob deep.
You know what I like about living in
What?
a trailer park? Maybe a trailer, or maybe this trailer specifically.
Okay.
But also the park is kind of dirty. It's kind of messy.
It is dirty.
Now, okay, that's
It's
obviously
disgusting.
not my preference, but it gives. No, it's not. It's not my preference, but it gives me room to be messy to kind of optimize my day. Like I don't have to clean something up right away.
Yeah.
Like when I built the shelves, there's still 2x4s sitting out in the. I guess that's a carport now. It's not a. It's not a sunroom or a lattice room. Well, there's still 2x4s in there that I probably should clean up.
Yeah.
But it's like I'd rather go edit or shoot another video or something like that, so I don't have to do little things like that right away. But if we were living in a nice neighborhood, I would have to do that kind of stuff right away. And yeah, that's not the best example because cleaning 2x4s. I mean that takes all of like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Not the best example.
But I mean, I get what you're saying.
But okay, I got a better example.
Okay, what?
Like when I'm working on my truck, I can be a little messy.
Okay.
Like oil can leak in the driveway a little bit.
Okay.
And that's not a big deal, but if you're in a nicer neighborhood, you're creating oil stains in the driveway and all that
you
kind of
have
stuff,
the HOA
you're going to be the ghetto neighbors.
Yeah, they'll fine you.
Yeah, they will. But here's like a little oil stain in the driveway, no big deal.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, leaning on that, I feel that there's a lot less judgment.
Yeah.
Like, that is something that I never really thought about. There's something that I never really thought about. Was just like, wow, you can literally, it's like people just wear whatever. They walk around barefoot in the street in public. Yeah. There's trash everywhere. And that's not necessarily like, ideal, but it is something you can be grateful for that I never thought of.
Yeah, it's trade-offs, If you live in a very pristine neighborhood, people might judge you a little more.
Yeah.
People might be a little more judgy.
Yeah. It's like, I never wake up and feel like I have to put on makeup to be presentable. You know what I mean? And it's like, especially this day and age, people can be so superficial and just really into like, the Instagram image of who they are that it's like, it's nice to be in the real world, it feels like, you know what I mean? Not so much in the internet world of what people think and stuff. And it's strange because literally at the beginning when we first started YouTube, we did not share our trailer park stories and stuff. Like we used to hide, like we didn't show pictures. We used to be really cautious about where we like set things up. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we didn't even have AC. Like the room we were shooting in was hot because window unit AC is really loud.
Oh, we had to turn it off to shoot.
Yeah, we'd have to turn it off
we
to shoot.
We do a live stream for a couple of hours with no AC.
And we'd be like dripping sweat and like we might get up and go wipe the sweat off camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, after living here for a while, you eventually just stop really judging yourself, I feel like.
Yeah, it makes you tougher in a way.
Yeah.
Not like using a big bag and beat someone up. It's like...
I am. No, just kidding.
It's like, okay, sitting in a room for 2 hours super sweaty is not a big deal.
Right.
Well, that brings me to another thing that, I don't know, that I like, I guess, about living here is it makes you more grateful for little things.
It really does.
Like, I can promise you, I will never take central AC for granted again.
Never again.
They're sitting in these hot rooms, like the kitchen has no window unit, so it's really hot.
It's 90 degrees.
We have a
like
thermometer in there, a thermostat. Which one? Thermometer.
Yeah, it's like a magnetic temperature sensor.
Yeah, so we know like the temperature in the kitchen and.
It's like 90 degrees most days.
Yeah, in the middle of the summer. Well, it's not even summer yet.
It's not even summer yet.
Oh.
It's about to be 100 degrees inside.
Well, the hottest it got before that thermostat went out was 97. I took a picture.
Yeah.
Because this place is supposed to have central AC. But the people who had it before us, you guys know that story. It was $400 a month to run that central
Yeah.
AC.
Yeah. If it even
And so
works,
then-
though, I don't even know if I believe that fully.
Well, the
But
electric bill is $400 a month.
the electric
Maybe
bill
they was
was
running a bunch of window
Yeah, they
units.
left us with the bill, so that's how we know for sure.
Because they had those window units on literally all day.
I think they were running a bunch of window units.
Yeah.
But also with central AC, you get that ventilation, and we don't get that. So
we
literally,
have rats in the vents. I would never
yeah,
turn that on.
no, and it smells like urine. Like, it's really interesting
It's
because you
disgusting.
can retroactively appreciate stuff.
But it's nice to appreciate little things.
It is.
Like, it's just
It
easier
is.
to be happy, oddly enough.
It is. It's much easier.
Like something so small can make you happy.
Yeah.
But previous to living here, it's like, well, it takes a lot more than the previous thing that made you happy to be happy.
Yep. Yep.
Like you're always chasing a higher happy feeling.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's like things, like the smallest things can ruin your day then. But it's like now, it's like I can't let the things ruin my day because there's just so many little things that I previously would have let ruin my day.
Right.
But you know what else?
What?
So like when we first moved in here, it was the beginning of the pandemic. It was like March 2020. I had COVID really bad. We were super broke because we just put all of our money into this place, and we were dealing with the cops and like getting sugar in the gas tank, and you know, the whole scam situation, being threatened and stuff like that. And we were the happiest we had ever been up to that point.
Yeah, that's true.
Like we literally just kicked it, and we just were like, we're gonna figure it out, and we just like we're finding laughs and smiles and just joy in the littlest things. And after that, I feel like I became more like confident, like no matter what we face, we're gonna find a way to be happy.
Yeah.
That was like the lowest.
It was.
It was crazy.
That was the brokest we ever been. The most credit card debt we ever had.
Less than
The
$500 in
credit
the
cards
bank.
At one point. Yeah.
That was before stimulus checks. Like, remember, stimulus checks were not right away.
I mean, I even stopped paying my credit cards, just let them go into collections. Like, 'cause it was 2020, that was rough. But we kept your cards paid off.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just stopped paying
Well,
mine.
we kept paying the minimums.
Well, yeah, I'm saying we kept them up to date.
Yeah.
We didn't just say, oh,
Yeah.
good riddance.
But
You know what
then
I'm saying?
they also, I had an emergency credit card that was $10,000. I told you guys that. They canceled that right around that time. So it was literally like everything that could go wrong went wrong. Like they broke his truck window.
I think we just, like, gave in, like, submitted.
We just submitted. We were like,
No,
life,
this is our lives now.
shoot, doesn't kill us, it's gonna make us stronger.
Might as well have fun. We would just, like, watch Netflix, kind of like dumpster fire
Yeah.
shows. Like, we watched Love is Blind, and we would just pause it so much and just, like, talk
Just talk.
crap.
Just talk. It was actually really fun. And we ate like ramen noodles all the time. And we ate like tortilla pizzas where you get like a little a burrito layer and you put some sauce and some pepperonis and call it a pizza. It was fun though. It was fun. Even like our neighbor had put, this is the neighbor that just walked past, but had put some stuff on the curb and there was like roaches in it. But I was so grateful.
Like, yeah, you went and got the
I
stuff
went
from
and
the
got
curb
it.
and went through it, and roaches came up the bins and stuff.
Big old palmetto bugs. But I was so grateful
But
because...
in there, roaches too.
Yeah, it had roaches too. That's
Roaches and palmetto bugs, like
Yeah.
the little roaches.
I was just grateful though because at the time this was before pallets, and like we went through a phase of like everything that you collect can be valuable to you, so you kind of just hold on to things.
Yeah, whenever you see something on the curb, you pick it up.
Yeah, like we definitely experienced that.
We used to scavenge like free stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, we literally used to scavenge
We got a
for
lot
free
of stuff
stuff. We
that
got a
way.
lot of stuff.
That's how we got our bed.
That's how
in
we got
the bed
yeah.
frame.
We still
My
have
desk,
that bed.
My office chair, like we
Yeah.
got so much stuff that
We got a
way.
lot of stuff that way. But it's like a whole, like I never even really, it was like, oh, people go on Marketplace for fun, you know, or like maybe if you want to save money and buy something, but we were getting like the free stuff people put on the curb on Marketplace. And I mean, that experience just was like, dang, I don't know, you survive, you know, you get through it. And then everybody that we were meeting, I felt that we had to sort of like earn their respect. Like they didn't look at us like, oh, you got a lot of money, and like, oh, I can get something from you, so I'm gonna just, you know, pretend that I respect you. It was like, if you do right by them, they're gonna do right by you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just feel like everybody, it's like every client, when we would do pressure washing, everybody that we pressure washed their house, I'd be like so grateful if they didn't, like if they let us use the bathroom. That was something I never thought I could be grateful for, like just a stranger letting you use their bathroom, but it's a big deal.
And I was grateful when we would pull up to a job and they wouldn't turn us away.
Yeah, true.
Because my old dusty
Yeah,
truck, they were
oh,
probably
man.
like, oh man, no wonder this was so
Yeah.
cheap.
One time we went and did a job in like Treasure Island, which is like a real nice beachfront community. But in the house we did the job at was like a normal like 3-bedroom house, but it was on the beach.
I bet it was
So
like
millions.
near
probably.
$1 million.
Yeah,
If not
something like
over
that.
$1 million.
And the wife was like refusing to pay us because she thought that she needed to pay our boss.
Yeah.
Like she basically was like kind of rude, and she was like, well, I just want to make sure it gets to the right place.
Didn't she say like, show me the LLC so I can make it out to that?
Like
she thought we were gonna like take the money and not give it to the boss.
Yeah, like she wanted to write a check out to the LLC.
It was so bad.
It was like,
so bad.
Like what? I'm the one that scheduled this with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, experiencing that though, like feeling like that was actually so like
humbling.
It was humbling.
Like you start a business and pull up somewhere to deliver the service, and then they think you're the workers, not the business owners.
Yeah. And not only
like, dang, that must be how we came off.
And not only that, we're the workers that are going to take the check.
Yeah,
and
they're going to steal the money.
It was just like, I don't know. What can you say to that, you know? Oh, something else that's really, really interesting in trailer parks is like people watching. Like before, like in the beginning, like basically at the beginning of the pandemic when our businesses were like done for and we were trying to pivot and figure things out, I used to sit by the window and just watch people. And you have all kinds of neighbors. Like, I mean, there's just so many stories I could tell you from just watching people. And like it's always funny when you got the little kids and they're like 6 years old, 8 years old, and they're just like, F you, my mama said this. It's just like I've never seen that before in my life.
That's why you got a small D.
Yeah, like I've never seen such grown-up conversation in a person so small. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even call it grown-up conversation.
And it's not that that's like something that
that's not the way the typical adult talks.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
But it's people watching. You know what I mean? I consider it like similar to just, you know, just watching people at the beach. Like you see all kinds of different people.
I mean, it's pretty crazy here.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see kids smoking anything and everything.
Anything and everything. Something else that I like is that it's so, like you probably hear all this background noise, it's so busy all the time, but because of the area and just because of, you know, because trailer parks are usually like poverty, it's safer because it's so busy.
I don't know why it's not, or at least it doesn't feel dangerous.
It literally feels more dangerous.
I don't know why. Is it supposed to be, right?
Outside the trailer park.
Yeah, it does. But that's because a lot of people are strung out on drugs or, you know, walking around.
Florida.
You see people pass out on the sidewalk sometimes, things like that.
Yeah, like there's this person that yells at us.
Maybe it's more dangerous in like the back of the park or something.
Maybe.
Maybe because we're by the front office and have cameras by the front office. We have cameras. Like, there's a lot of cameras. But I feel pretty safe here. It's just those crazy dogs.
Even when I go to the dogs, that's a whole nother level. But that makes me appreciate like normal dogs even more. Like every time we see a dog that's friendly, I'm like extra excited because you just never know.
Another thing I like is they cut the grass.
Yeah.
Or they hire lawn care service. I'm sure we pay for it, but it's nice.
Yeah.
At our last house we were in, we had to cut the grass. Like we had a rental place.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, Florida.
Yeah.
And man, cutting the grass sucked.
Because it was like all weeds.
Yeah, it was like all weeds. It was terrible. I had to push lawnmower because I thought that would be fun, you know, get a workout in. It was a nightmare. The weeds would get stuck in the lawnmower. It was a nightmare, but eventually we got an electric lawnmower, and that made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But then there was an area on the side of the house where it was all weeds and some, like stones.
Yeah.
So like you couldn't really cut that. Probably should have got a weed whacker. I don't know. It's nice not have to do it.
Also, I like living around families. Like
yeah, we've never lived around so many families, like with kids.
Families. Yeah, like everywhere we've lived, it's always a bunch of single people. And I mean, I think that's totally fine and stuff, but I think when people are single, a lot of times they can just keep to themselves. And like here, even though we don't even really speak the same language as a lot of our neighbors, it's like there's still a sort of like, you look in the eyes and you say hello, and like there's a sort of culture of, you know who's supposed to be here and who's not.
Right.
But I feel like with single individuals, like we had a neighbor when we used to live in Hollywood, Florida, that lived across the street from us. And he disappeared for like 2 months. And we used to see him every single day, but it's like we don't even know his name. We don't know anything about him, so we don't know if he's on vacation or if he's dead in his house because he was older.
And then one day we just saw the power
EMTs?
company come.
Yeah.
EMTs.
Oh, it was power company. That was.
What?
No, I thought we saw. Well, because we used to live off
No,
of
that
Main
was
Street.
our other neighbor. They would have the EMT
They would
come
have the EMT,
sometimes
yeah.
because they had the daughter who was a paraplegic.
Yeah.
And they would transport her and stuff like that. But no, this neighbor. Remember, we saw the power company come and just go to the side of the house and then come back.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we haven't seen this dude in like 2 months, and now the power company is just going to the side, probably turning the power off. Hasn't paid
Right.
the bill because he might be in there dead or something.
Right.
I mean, you could probably do like a wellness check or something
You
like
could,
that.
but it's like-
I don't feel comfortable doing all that. They don't think I
right.
did something.
And we don't even know
Yeah, don't
anything
know.
about the guy.
Never talked to him.
And like he seemed like he was perfectly nice. He would paint his roof in the summer and stuff. Like in Florida, people will like paint the roof to like I guess have cheaper air conditioning or something, like reflective paint. But he seemed like he was fairly healthy, and then he just disappeared. We never saw him again. But it's like here, I don't know. I just get the sense that like people kind of like they just have their eyes open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems like everybody knows everybody.
It does. It does. It seemed like, yeah, because we see often like neighbors going over each other's houses and stuff.
I mean, we're not the most social neighbors in the
We're not.
world.
We keep to ourselves.
We're up during odd times. We are up when everyone else is up sometimes.
Yeah.
And we try to keep a low profile, you know?
Yeah, true. True. There's definitely people that live around us that
Well, we know like the
watch
neighbors on our
channels.
street at least. Like we speak to them. Not like
Yeah.
best buddies,
Yeah.
but we have nice neighbors. Like our neighbor just the other day cleaned up those trees that have fallen down.
Oh yeah, on the
That you
vlogs,
showed
I've
in one of the
seen.
vlogs. He just cleaned them up. He's like, oh yeah, I cleaned you guys' trees
He's
up.
like, hey buddy, hey buddy.
Yeah, our neighbors are super nice.
So nice.
So, is living in a very heavy like family area with a ton of kids. I mean, I would say over 100 kids in the area. There's so many kids. They mob so deep. Is that why you have baby fever?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, I'm sure it helps, I guess. I don't know. They do, like one of our neighbors, when we first moved in, he's maybe like 3 years old now. But when we first moved in, he was a little baby. And like he's grown up and now he speaks to our dogs. And he speaks to us. He'll be like, hola, mommy. Hola, papi. And it's just so cute to watch him grow up. So, I mean, that definitely, specifically that little guy. But in general, I'm just like, I don't know if I would want kids with this many neighbors that are kids. That's just like so many different groups they could be socializing with. I don't know. I mean, I guess in one sense, they would be less likely to be alone and in bad situations. You know, because it's like right now, literally walking towards us, there's a group of 8 kids, and one of them smoking something, and they're like maybe 7th grade.
Yep.
I don't know. Tell me, man, what do you know? What do you know? Me and my boys on the road. We to go. She told me, boy, you to go. Like, I don't know. But I don't